why I hate him.
Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurkan here coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Witcher 3 collaboration in Monster Hunter World. Now this, I have to say, is one of the best collaborations that we have seen in Monster Hunter World to date. It is just simply so faithful to the source material of Witcher 3 that it is quite simply something that I would never imagine that I would have seen. Now, before you continue watching this video, my advice to you is do not get spoiled. Do not watch videos about this specific quest until you have experienced it for yourself, because it is really something worthy of being experienced completely and utterly spoiler-free. So basically, I'm going to assume from this moment onwards, if you're still watching, that you don't care about spoilers, because I'm about to spoil the crap out of this quest for you. This amazing, fantastic, cannot recommend you play this quest without getting spoiled enough of a crossover quest between these two fantastic franchises. But anyway, let's get started. So first, when you arrive at Astera after you update your game, which there's a pretty beefy update of 1.8 gigabytes, and once you get an Astera, right where I am right now, there should be a couple of felines here with a quest for you to do. If you do not have the felines here, it probably means that you haven't done as many side quests in Monster Hunter World as you should. You need to have at the very least Hunter rank 16. That means that you should have finished the game by the time you try to engage with this particular quest, and you should have probably gathered all of the tools. I think you might have to gather all the tools. I'm not entirely sure. Also, if you want to get all of the rewards required in this quest, you need to make sure that you get all of the tools for your Palico. What does that mean? You need to go figure out how to get the Mulotov cocktail, how to get the, what's it called? The thing that steals the plunder blade. You need to get the shield. You need to get the flash fly cage. And you need to get everything, all of the tools for your Palico, and you need to make sure that you do the Gajalaka quest line. And these are all things that I can't get into this video because it would take too long. But basically, you need to have done all of the research in terms of felines, because that is going to be required in order to get the maximum value out of this quest. If you haven't done it, you can still do the quest itself. You can still get some of the rewards, but you can't get all of the rewards, okay? I'll get into a little bit more detail. But anyways, if you've done all that, I'm assuming that you just get into Astera. The cats will be here. You talk to them. They'll tell you, you got to go to the research base. And you go to the research base, and there's a cutscene, and you get to see how Geralt comes into the world. But anyway, once you do all of that stuff, basically they're going to give you a new special assignment. Now, this thing about this particular assignment is that it is repeatable. So like if I want to do it, I can do it right now, because this is very much a scripted quest that is completely different than anything else that you've done in Monster Hunter. It basically does feel like you're playing as the Witcher, as if you were playing the Witcher game in Monster Hunter World, naturally with the difference that the combat system is going to be like Monster Hunter. So, once you get in here, they're going to take you on a quest, and in that quest, you're going to have two main activities that you're going to have to do, and then a third final activity if you just follow the critical path of that quest. One of the activities involves examining some Aptonoth bodies. It's probably going to be one of the first things that you'll encounter. You examine the bodies, which is something that the Witcher tends to do in the Witcher games, and after you do that, they'll take you to another body. You'll follow around some trails of some ravens and stuff. I don't know what they're called, revoltures. You'll follow around some trails of some revoltures, and then you will encounter a flock of revoltures, and you will have to use the Igni ability, which is pretty much a usable item that you get whenever you are playing as the Witcher. Use Igni, it has the exact same effect that as you would expect if you are a Witcher fan, which pretty much burns anything in your path, and you use that to scare away the revoltures, and that kind of like completes the Aptonoth examination of bodies. Then you're supposed to go free one of the commission dudes who's basically stuck. He's the filthy elf that handles all of your farming in the Astera, if you guys know. He's the guy that you go to and you go, hey, I want some herbs and fertilize the tree and all this stuff. So you got to go free him because he's been imprisoned by these tree roots. And after you free him, then you can go and you can battle the Leshen. Now, it is important to mention that there's something very special about this quest, which is there are two side activities which are optional, but if you complete all the side activities, you're going to get additional rewards for completing the quest. As of the time of recording this video, I haven't completed those activities yet. I'll get into a couple of more details as we talk about the activities themselves. Once again, I'm about to spoil these, so if you want to discover more about this quest by yourself, then you should have played it by now. Anyway, so the very first thing that you need to take care is that when you go and you free the commission member that is stuck on tree roots, if you explore that area around a little bit, you will find a bunch of Pukei also stuck in those tree roots. And if you look around for a bit, you will find one of them which is still alive. Now you can free this Pukei by using Igni on the tree roots. That will free him, and that Pukei will then come back later, and you would figure, oh, he's going to help us out. No, actually, he's going to be a complete hindrance, and he's going to be extremely frustrating to deal with when he comes back. I'll tell you more as we continue. Anyways, the other side quest that you have to do is basically you got to find this specific marking, and once you find this marking, you have to click on it and be like, oh, I can't decipher this, and then they will tell you, oh, you should go see the Lionian researcher because maybe he'll know more about this. And this is the part of the quest that you need to have done everything, and you need to have been able to recruit the Gajalakas previously. Otherwise, I don't think you can complete this part of the quest. So you need to look up how to do the Gajalaka sections. I don't think I did a guide for that, but you should be able to find that stuff. It's not going to be too hard. But anyway, once you do that, you talk to the Lionian researcher, and he goes like, oh, I've translated this, you got to go on top of the tree. So basically you go to the very top, the topmost camp, and you go to the area where usually Rathalos hangs out, you know, with the waterfall and stuff that you can break the dam and water falls down. And if you go there now, you'll find a bunch of Gajalakas. The second you get there, beat the crap out of those Gajalakas because they're going to attack you regardless of what you do. Once you beat the crap out of the Gajalakas, they will engage in a discussion with you, and you will become the leader of the Gajalakas, which is pretty friggin' amazing. But anyway, after you become the leader of the Gajalakas, you decide to figure out what happened to their previous chief. And in order to do this, basically you climb down to the bottom of the tree, and then you go to that area that, if I remember correctly, Azure Rathalos likes to hang out there in certain phases of his fight. Or better yet, no, it's the Anjanath Nest. It's beneath the Anjanath Nest. There's this area, and it's got a hole in it. You jump down there. Once you jump down there, you'll find the Gajalaka chief. He's going to be possessed. And let me just tell you, I find it so amazing that they've finally shown us the chief of the Gajalakas, because anybody who's followed me, you know that I have my Palico with a Gajalaka mask. I think the Gajalaka are really cool. I've always liked the Chachas and Kayamba and stuff like that, which is why I like the Gajalakas so much. But basically, you get to fight against the chief of the Gajalakas. He's not that hard. Just beat the crap out of him. And then he explains what has happened, and that pretty much concludes all of the activities that you have to do before you fight the Leshen. Now, let me tell you something very important. If you want to complete this quest, I would actually not recommend that you use Sword and Shield. So the weapon that they give you for this quest are Geralt's weapons, which is a sword and shield. And it is a great sword and shield. I really like it. I want to use it more. I haven't crafted the final iteration of that sword and shield because I believe that's going to be in a future quest that they haven't added onto the game yet. But essentially, the sword and shield feels very underpowered for this particular event. Because what's going to happen is the Leshen is going, when you go fight the Leshen, he's going to summon a bunch of Jagresses to attack you. And that's not the problem, because like I've killed the Leshen multiple times with Sword and Shield. That's not the problem. The problem is that you need to be able to dispatch those Jagres as fast as you possibly can, and the Sword and Shield is just not a very efficient way of doing that. So I would advise you to potentially take another weapon, I don't know, a charge blade, maybe a long sword. I'm not exactly sure. I've been using the charge blade, and that makes it a lot easier, because as you fight the Leshen, there's multiple stages to that fight. He does a bunch of abilities. The Leshen himself, I don't think he's particularly hard. If you use the Igni sign, you'll be able to stun him multiple times, which gives you a lot of openings. So the Leshen fight in and of itself is not super hard. The problem is that when you get to the last stage of the Leshen fight, what's going to happen is that Pukei that you rescued, he's going to come down to help you. And I say help you very much in quotation marks, because that Pukei's got some messed up brain damage or something. Like, he will not stay alive for very long. So basically what happens is the fight becomes very much a babysitting fight. You have to keep that Leshen alive. One of the things is, before you engage with Leshen, I guess I should have told you guys this, you should go to camp and grab the additional life powders, because you're going to need to heal that Pukei, because he takes so much damage. Every time the Leshen summons the Jagras, you need to stop fighting the Leshen instantly and go after the Jagras, because the Jagras will destroy that Pukei in seconds. I'm not even exaggerating here. They will eat through that Pukei like he's nothing. Not to mention, like I said, the Pukei himself, he's not too bright. He tends to get himself into a lot of danger, so maybe you should also edit your custom wheel to include stuff like the life powders in there so that you have those easily accessible during that fight. Trust me, you will thank me later. That Pukei is annoying as hell. I'm not saying I'm salty, but maybe I'm a little bit salty. Either way, once you defeat the Leshen and the Pukei is still alive, you should be rewarded with what I've been told is an attack gem, on top of all the additional rewards that you can get for doing this specific quest. And I know everybody's mind is getting blown right now. An attack gem? Yes, that's probably why it's so hard to keep that Pukei alive. Anyway, so once you get the rewards from that quest, you might have to do the quest more than once, but you will be able to craft Geralt's armor set. Now, Geralt's armor set is, unfortunately, for a lot of us, I know a lot of us are going to be upset, but his armor set is very much a full armor set. So very much like Ryu, Aloy, Sakura, all that stuff. Geralt's armor is the same thing. However, I should mention Geralt's armor is probably the best of all of these full body sets that we have gotten so far. I mean, just look at his headpiece. It's got 2 tier 1 decoration slots, 2 weakness exploits, and 1 recovery speed. Then you also have level 3 health boost and level 2 attack boost on Geralt's body. You got recovery speed and marathon runner on Geralt's arms. You know, the arms is not the most impressive one, but it's still pretty good because recovery speed will come into play when I tell you guys about the set bonuses that you get out of this. Then in Geralt's torso, you got Bombardier and weakness exploit. And then finally in Geralt's legs, you got Marathon Runner and Critical Eye. So this actually contributes to full weakness exploit, full health boost, full recovery speed, full Marathon Runner, level 2 Bombardier, and level 2 Critical Eye. Now, the reason that the recovery speed is so important is because if you actually go to the set bonuses, you'll see that Geralt actually gets, oh, here we go, Witcher's Knowledge. Geralt actually gets Igni Intensity. So basically this means that whenever you have this set equipped, you can actually use the Igni sign, which you're going to receive at the end of that particular quest. You're going to receive it's not an Igni sign, they give you like a rune, but if you equip Geralt's full set, you get to use that as the full Igni sign. And the Igni sign still deals like 100 damage or so whenever you use it. It does have a cooldown, so it's not like you can just spam Igni, but it does make this set particularly powerful because every now and then you can just pull out 100 fire damage out of nowhere, which is friggin' cool. If you do not have the Geralt set, you do not get the Igni Intensity, so you can still use Igni to burn, but it's mostly just like a cool little emote that you can do because it doesn't deal that much damage. But finally, we also have Witcher's Knowledge, which basically is super recovery, which is the same thing that we've gotten from the Valhazak set, and that is why that recovery speed is so damn good. You're going to be regenning like nobody's business. The only thing missing is if the Sword and Shield version that we use on that quest had health regen. Hells yeah, baby. But anyway, this set is, in my opinion, the most powerful full armor set that you can get. Naturally, once you get into mixed sets, you can probably make something more powerful than this, but it is still very much viable to play as Geralt, in regular missions. Whereas the other outfits, not as good. So beyond that, you can also craft the first iteration of Geralt's swords, which is, like I said, it's a sword and shield. Even though you don't really see the shield, instead of the shield, you see the heart sign, which is it's pretty cool. They use heart. It's called heart sign, right? The one where it uses like telekinesis to push stuff. Whenever you see him use the shield attacks, you probably should have seen throughout the quest that he kind of does like this white effect. That would be the heart sign. The other sign that he can use is Igni, like we've talked about, and he uses the Quen sign to shield instead. So he doesn't have a physical shield, but he uses the Quen sign whenever you go ahead and block. But anyways, once you craft Witcher Silver Sword, which is, as you can see, already full white sharpness, even on its Rarity 7 version, which can still be upgraded. Pretty friggin' sweet. It's got neutral affinity, it's got 300 dragon element, and Elder Seal hide. This is very much going to be a weapon that I plan on using, particularly to beat the crap out of Elder Dragons. And then you have an additional version of it, but we can't upgrade to that yet because we don't have the materials. I believe the materials are going to be coming down on the 15th with the quest for Ciri. Ciri's going to be showing up as well with another quest that we haven't seen yet. So there you go. These are the other things that you can craft. And then there is one more thing that you got to do, and I know that a lot of people are going to be curious about this because I've had this question asked God knows how many times, which is you get to craft an armor set for your Palico, which makes him look like this. Not exactly sure why anyone would want to do that, but there you go. If you have some kind of sick fetish for these crazy looking creatures, then you can craft this. Now, the way that you craft this is you're going to, once you finish the quest for the first time, they're going to ask you to capture a Nekker. And in order to capture a Nekker, you don't actually do this. I mean, maybe you can do this in the Witcher quest, but the easiest way to do it is in an expedition. So what you want to be looking for is, first, you want to get Astera to nighttime before you leave. And in case you don't know, whenever you go on a quest, time passes, time advances. So if it is not nighttime in Astera, go do a quest, come back. If it is nighttime then you can go to the expedition. So you want to go to the expedition and you want to make sure that there is a Jagras in the ancient forest. After you get a Jagras, you go into that expedition, you wait around for a little bit. The Jagras will do his usual routine, which involves going into Zone 1, eating an Aptonoth. So you just lie and wait, let the Jagras eat his Aptonoth. The Jagras will then go back to his lair, and he will barf up the Aptonoth so that the little Jagrases can eat. And at that point, you should see the Nekker show up. Once the Nekker shows up, just go up to him, capture him, and then leave. And that's it. You completed that quest, and then you can do the armor for your Palico that makes him look like this. Not sure why you would do that still. I definitely am not going to have him looking like this for long because I like my Gajalaka mask, man. I'm all about that Gajalaka mask. Also, that enables you to build him this weapon, which I don't even know what it does at this point. I know that it's not very good. Let me see if I can go to equipment info and check out... No, actually, I can't see it here. Whatever. I know that the weapon is not particularly good. It's mostly for looks. So, it's up to you whether or not that's something that you're into. But either way, that is all of the stuff that we can currently do in the Witcher collaboration quest. And I gotta tell you, despite the fact that I'm a little bit salty because I still haven't gotten that attack gem because that Pukei is just such an idiot. I'm going to be running this quest a couple of more times because I will get that attack decoration. I can guarantee you that, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit it up with the like button. If you guys are new here, remember, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. I did a live stream if you want to see me play through that quest for the very first time. Should be fairly easy to find in the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.